This is Be a Beast on Nelson Radio. You chose to be here. This is not by accident that you're here now. And in this program, you want to take your performance to the highest level. You want to dominate. You physically work hard. Now that's important. Mentally, we're going to prepare you to have the kind of success that's available to you. Not just for some, but for you to live it fully. You can do it too. Enjoy this journey. This program is your secret weapon. Be a Beast on Nelson Radio.
And this is Be a Beast on Nelson Radio. And I'm excited to be with Dave Austin, mental performance coach. Throughout our show, you can contact us direct, 888-888-2136, or click through at extremefocus.com. And I gotta ask you, Dave, as we go into this week, following all of these football games, and there was Gus Malzahn that I heard interviewed today heading into the national championship game, and he was asked about his quick run-up on success leading to the national championship, and he attributed two things. One, that he was given the opportunity, and two, that he's surrounded by great talent.
Yeah, it's funny, and that's a typical thing a coach will say, and I think that's a very humble thing to say, but there's a lot more to it than just being around great talent, because we all see great talent that goes sideways,
Well, and I like we were talking earlier, I don't quite buy into it in terms of it's not just great talent. You have plenty of unbelievably talented teams that don't perform well, and you have some teams that are void of talent that surge to the forefront. So I don't know if he was just being gracious, but as I listened to that interview, I went, no, I don't buy that. I think that performance is something that's crafted, and it's trained for. And the very focus of our show, Be a Beast, is training your mental performance so that you, when you have those game day opportunities, whether it's in the locker room or in the boardroom, that you are prepared.
Well, you're so right on the money, because first of all, we use sports as an analogy to everything in life, but every pro team is out there trying to get their best talent. So there's a lot of great talent out there, but how do you bring that talent together to work as a team, work together? Same thing in an office environment. When you go out to hire someone, you're not hiring someone and going, well, gee, we only want a so-so. We want to be the best, but you bring that talent in, and now how do you all work together? How do you work under pressure? Pressure really shows you who you are when things happen.
Wouldn't that make for a great interview? You're in with the executive team and saying, I'm okay. I'm mediocre. But, I want to be a part of this organization because you're surrounded by great talent and you've been given the opportunity. Doesn't reconcile, does it?
That doesn't work at all. So I'm glad you hit right on that. I mean, we hear that all the time. I think it's just, I want to show that it's really not me. Well, the truth is, it is you. You came in, and I'm not saying about boasting it. There's a difference between being boastful and owning it, and saying, we created a different spirit within this team. This was my goal all along. That would be more, I would say, in line to be full integrity.
And I think that not only full integrity, but that mental performance piece of the puzzle. This is where so many people lose sight of how they prepare for what they're going to do, how they aspire to achieve certain things, and it's about mental performance. I had this conversation just over the weekend. Somebody was talking about my professional tennis career, and I was in that journeyman category, but yeah. I made the reference that at the time, if I went onto the courts with Jimmy Connors in my environment, let's say a single court surrounded by woods, nobody around, we played 10 matches, I have every bit of belief that I would have won a portion of those matches.
I believe it. I saw you play.
Now, conversely, we put me into his environment, a court surrounded by 35,000 people playing for multi-million dollars of prize money. His skill sets elevate, my skill sets dissipate, and so it is about performance, not just whether you have physical talent or not.
No, you're again, I hate to say it, you're right. I like to disagree with you a lot of the times, but no, you're right on the money. And I don't think that most people even understand that. That's why I love what we're doing with Be a Beast. And, we've added the animals. At the end of this segment, we always bring Roger Anthony out of the bush. And I'll tell you what, the phones are lighting up because of what he's bringing to it. It's that anchor system. So we've decided today to go a little deeper into RESPA and MEMA. What does that mean, actually? So I'm really excited. And how, the other thing is, how does it apply to your everyday life? We're talking about sports. We're talking about the boardroom. But right now, during the Christmas holidays, it's funny. It's supposed to be a joyous time, and it can be, and it is. But there's a lot of pressure. Who's gonna cook the turkey for Christmas night?
There's extraordinary pressures for certain. You're listening to Be a Beast on Nelson Radio. You can reach out to us direct, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136, or click through at extremefocus.com. We're talking about how to mentally perform. Mental performance, whether it's in the locker room or in the boardroom. And we're going to be looking at some very graphic examples of that with Roger Anthony as he comes into our show, the founder and innovator of the Learning Anchor System.
Crocodiles,
which is why we have these analogies, these comparisons to the animals. RESPA the crocodile, MEMA and LEMA the armadillo. And now people out there, they could be listening and going, well, armadillo, crocodile, what's that have to do with anything? These are mental triggers that snap you back into a performance on what, Dave?
Well, that's what it's all about, because what happens is when pressure hits, we have so many thoughts going on. We have over 60,000 thoughts a day. And what happens is you need, when that pressure hits, you need that trigger that can bring you right back to your focus so you can perform at the highest. And what Roger's done is he's created an anchor system using animals that you can trigger right to it right now, no matter what the situation is. And so we're going to go deeper, I think, in this next segment, as we bring Roger out of the bush on RESPA. Stay right here, because we're talking about really important triggers that can change your life in one word.
And it's not just the 2-minute drill. It's about dealing with life issues. And here a very graphic example, like I said, Roger Anthony, the founder, the innovator of this Learning Anchor System, he's battling cancer right now.
Yeah, stage 4.
And as he goes into treatment, he's got to have that it's the mental performance that's going to oversee or overcome the cancer that's riddled through his body.
Well, that's it. And when you hear Roger and you speak to Roger, this is the man who lives what he teaches and what he talks. Because he's, stage 4 cancer is not a easy thing to go through. But when you listen to him, it's like he's a champion because of he lives the principles that he teaches and coaches. And what an example when you're faced with that type of situation.
And we're going to dive deeper on RESPA the crocodile in this very environment in terms of relax, evaluate, strategize, having patience, and then acting when you're in the moment. You're listening to Be a Beast on Nelson Radio. You can call us direct, 888-888-2136. Click through it, extremefocus.com, or simple enough, simply text the word BEAST to 313131. Roger Anthony coming up next, diving deeper on RESPA the crocodile. Be a Beast on Nelson Radio spends a lot of time vetting out true professionals. Insurance Inc. is one of our best. Cutting premiums up to 40%. Insurance Inc. We want you to contact them direct, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136, or go to insuranceinc.com.
What can $50 do? With a donation of $50, you can impact the life of a child today in Bulgaria, the poorest nation in the European Union, with one of the highest percentages of human trafficking in Europe. Click and donate today to satesi.org, and your giving heart will make a huge difference in the life of a young Bulgarian boy or girl. That's CEITCI.org. Impact the world and care for Bulgarian children at risk with so little. Donate today at satesi.org. That's CEITCI.org.
Christmas. Everybody's gotta have a place they can go. Family decorating, making cookies galore.
This is Be a Beast on Nelson Radio. You can reach us direct, 888-888-2136, or find out more about our 12-step training system at extremefocus.com, or you can simply text the word BEAST to 313131. That was Brianna Noel, an up-and-coming superstar in the music industry. I'm with Dave Austin, who also has a rich history in music. What do you think of Brianna's song?
That sounds good. It's actually tell you the truth, it's the first I've heard it. But yes, I've been had the privilege of running a record label with Universal Distribution and wrote Songwriting for Dummies, one of the Dummy series. And
Songwriting for Dummies. That sounds like you wrote that for me. Hey, I'm so excited, Dave. We've got Roger Anthony on the line with us, and we're talking about his training system, the Learning Anchor system, where we have these parallels, these trigger animals that snap us into a certain level of performance at the moment. And we've been talking in past shows about RESPA the crocodile. Roger, are you with us?
I am, and I'm very excited. Good to speak to you both and to the audience.
Hey, Roger, we got you out of the bush again. We love it when you have that chance to be with us. You bring such wisdom to all that we talk about. So welcome.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much.
And Roger, I want to bring the listeners into this in terms of the RESPA the crocodile and how that draws our performance and the importance of mental performance, whether it's like we talk about in the locker room or in the boardroom or in just facing life circumstances. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of tragedy, a lot of trauma coming out of the Great Recession. And we're in the holiday season. The holidays bring up all sorts of different challenges, some trivial, but some monumental. And we all need to perform. And Roger, I was looking for your insights, going a little bit deeper on RESPA.
Yeah, thank you. RESPA is the number one principle we use in our training programs for corporations and for schools and for individuals. There's 37 principles in total, represented by 37 animals, but right up front, the leader of them all is RESPA the crocodile. And you mentioned it a little earlier on, Nelson, and for those that may not have quite got it, under especially unforeseen circumstances, whether it's in the boardroom or in the locker room, and just in the field of life, how important it is to follow the actual master principle that the crocodile species teaches us. The reason they've outlived the dinosaurs is because they actually live these principles embedded in this one mastery principle. So when an unforeseen happens, we relax. And you did mention, and I'm happy to talk about it, on July the 4th this year, I was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer, and I was given 2 to 5 years to live. But because I had trained my mind and moved information and stimuli from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind over a 35-year period when I first started in the field of education, my subconscious mind, where all our habits lie, a great tennis person who is a great tennis player moves and returns a ball and then later thinks, how did I do that? And it was a winning shot. That didn't come from the conscious mind. That came from the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind steers us towards our goals, whether they're positive or negative. So if we've allowed negative in, then we will see the world as a negative place. We'll see all events that take place on the field, in the locker room, in the boardroom, in life generally. We will be focused on the negative, and that takes us into a downward spiral. But those of us who are crocodiles, and not water lilies. In other words, they're in control of their lives, always use RESPA the crocodile, either knowingly or unknowingly. So when I was given the diagnosis, because I had trained the subconscious mind where my habits lie that determine my future and my life, the first thing that came to me was, this is the best challenge I've ever had in life, as I took a deep breath and relaxed when the doctor gave me the diagnosis. I then evaluated the situation, which is the E in RESPA, and realized that this is going to be a great example of complete and full recovery that will help me be a better ambassador for the work and for mental performance and the power of the mind, to help people right across the world know that even something as drastic as cancer that we generally shy away from can actually have a lot of good in it. So I relaxed. I evaluated, and by the way, I wasn't doing this consciously. It happened in a nanosecond. And as I look back, I realized I was given the peace because my subconscious mind is always looking for the good in events that happen in life. And we say the greater the trial or tribulation, the greater the blessing just around the corner. But you'll never extract the blessings unless you can relax first. Take a deep breath and relax. Evaluate in a nanosecond what's really going on. lay out your strategy, which we've done, and I can't even begin to tell you all the blessings that are coming into my life because I relaxed, evaluated, and put together this strategy with the help of my wife, Cindy. And now, with a little bit of patience, I'm reevaluating, and I'm acting towards now complete, total healing. Not partial healing, complete, total healing. Every organ in my body will be healthier than it was when I was a 25-year-old elite athlete.
David,
Subconscious mind cannot tell fact from fantasy, and it acts on the information we give it.
It's remarkable. And Roger, I'm sitting here and I'm listening, and I'm aghast in terms of looking at stage 4 prostate cancer, and you're looking at this. Your viewpoint is this is opportunity. We got to have you comment more on this. I want you to stay with us. You're listening to Be a Beast on Nelson Radio. You can contact us direct. This is all about mental performance, whether it's in the boardroom, in the hospital room,
or in the hospital
or
room.
in the locker room. 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136, or at extremefocus.com, or simply text the word BEAST to 313131. We're coming back with Roger Anthony and Dave Austin on Be a Beast. Stay with us.
What can $50 do? With a donation of $50, you can impact the life of a child today in Bulgaria, the poorest nation in the European Union, with one of the highest percentages of human trafficking in Europe. Click and donate today to satesi.org, and your giving heart will make a huge difference in the life of a young Bulgarian boy or girl. That's CEITCI.org. Impact the world and care for Bulgarian children at risk with so little. Donate today at satesi.org. That's CEITCI.org.
Be a Beast on Nelson Radio spends a lot of time vetting out true professionals. Insurance Inc. is one of our best. Cutting premiums up to 40%. Insurance Inc. We want you to contact them direct. 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or go to insuranceinc.com.
Friends with the monster that's under my bed. When you think I'm crazy, yeah, you think I'm crazy.
You're listening to Be a Beast on Nelson Radio. That's Brianna Noel and her Christmas holiday song. I love her music. She's an
actually
up-and-coming star.
This is Rihanna.
That is Rihanna. There you have it. There you have it. I'm Nelson. You're listening to Be a Beast. You can contact us direct. 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. And we've been visiting with Roger Anthony, the founder and innovator of the Learning Anchor System, and him really being very raw in terms of how he looked at his cancer diagnosis, stage 4 prostate cancer, as an opportunity, Dave.
Oh, you know what? Getting to know Roger over the years, that's such a blessing to get to know him because he looks at everything as an opportunity. We had an opportunity to go speak together in India at the World Wellness Congress. There were 60 countries there. We flew in. We decided to go to China, and we went and we took a camera crew with us because we were going to film. Roger does something very special on the Extreme Focus bag, and we'll talk about that another time. But on the day before the planes, we don't still have a visa for China, and I'm all uptight. And I called Roger. I'm going, we're not going to make it. We're not going to be able to get on the plane. And he's just he goes, this must mean that this trip is going to be the greatest trip. This is really important. I love it. And so he just changed my attitude right in the spot. And sure enough, I just by shifting my attitude, did a little RESPA. I went up, got the visas. We're on the plane the next day. So we're back with Roger now talking about it.
And Roger, you know, you have this unbridled, maybe bridled optimism, but I think that this is exactly the stage that your training, your education system, your learning system has been brought to first person. You're battling to overcome cancer, and it's being met with this mental performance of relax, evaluate, strategize, patience, and then act on whatever treatments that are being administered.
Yes, it's been quite amazing to watch how I have reacted, and it literally just proves that when you have trained yourself and fed the subconscious mind with positive information rather than negative, first you have to be conscious that negative information is coming in, and unfortunately a lot of us, through habit, allowing all kinds of negative influences to come through the gateway of the conscious mind and into the subconscious mind, and we actually develop negative habits. So when a negative thing happens, our focus is on the negative, not on the good that we can extract from the negative. And I've interviewed literally 20 to 30,000 people over the years about their trials and their tribulations in life. And I said, even though they may not be comfortable coming through them, wouldn't you say that the greater the trial or tribulation, the greater the blessing, the greater the lesson you receive that takes you to your higher self more rapidly than you could ever have if things weren't going wrong every now and then in your life? And everyone, not one person has disagreed. That is true. The greatest teachers come through the greatest pain.
Roger,
and so,
what's it like? I mean, for the medical community that's surrounding you, they're watching you. Your wife Cindy's watching you. What's their reaction?
well, there are times when the medical profession just shake their head. I have elected not to go the full medical standard route, and I'm going with alternative treatments. And for Cindy, she sees me in pain. It's not that my face does not, experience the pain, and I outwardly express that pain, but generally because of my attitude, she is just incredibly amazed at how I'm able to smile through most of it. Yeah, the pain's been incredible. It's spread right throughout my skeleton structure, but already the medical advisors are shaking their heads and saying, I don't believe that you don't have more pain. Something is happening, something is turning around already, and I was only diagnosed with this on July the 4th. So, when we RESPA, you will find the answers that will take you, most importantly, to a place where you are in control and not out of control. And that's the big key, is to be able to maintain a position under all circumstances that enable you to think clearly and make correct and wise decisions in life.
Boy, we're talking about diving deeper into RESPA, and you've done such a beautiful job. I mean, we didn't know we would get to this personal level, but I think this message has to be told. This is a message that listeners right now need to hear. Now, that leads right into Mima and Lima, our armadillos, because then it's mind mastery. You got a RESPA. Tell us a little bit how now, through this, Mima and Lima fits. And
yeah, well, as you know, Mima and Lima are the armadillos, and there are two of them, as there are two parts to the mind, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And so it's very important that we understand how we function as a human being. Information comes in through the conscious mind, which is the gateway to the subconscious mind, and it's the subconscious mind where all of our habits lie. That's where we develop our habits, our attitude towards life, whether we're going to be in control or out of control. And it's very important to notice these characteristics about the subconscious mind, to understand it. It cannot tell fact from fantasy. It doesn't care what you feed it. It acts on the information it receives. It has no emotions, and it steers us towards its given goals or targets. And sometimes we're feeding it so much negative from a very early age, we don't even know that it's entering into the subconscious mind. And so there's a lot of negative or hoodwink in the subconscious mind, which causes us to have a negative outlook on life and a negative response to any situation that's a bit of a so-called block in our way. So knowing how the conscious mind works, it's only the gate. And the subconscious mind is where we literally develop our habits. So Mima, mind mastery, and Lima equals life mastery. So master my mind, feed the subconscious through the conscious mind, only those things that are conducive to personal control and personal mastery and success.
You talk about the hoodwink, and Dave, it's so funny because you can be hoodwinked. Your mind can be hoodwinked for the negative or for the positive. And there's so many people that just convince themselves they're deep in their own territory on the 3-yard line, 93 yards to go to get to the winning touchdown, and they'll go, oh, that's too far. I can't do it. And then you have examples like just yesterday, Tom Brady scoring 2 touchdowns with 61 seconds left to lead the charge back to victory. He wasn't thinking about what was in his way. He was thinking about
what's he going to do?
Exactly.
He was focused on, this is what I'm doing, and this is my opportunity because I've got the ball. You don't. And others would go, oh, my gosh, I've got the ball. I've got to do something. Where he doesn't even think of that aspect. He goes, my advantage.
And it's really the cornerstone, Roger, for our training here with Be a Beast on Nelson Radio is just that, to mentally coach yourself, mentally perform so that you have these triggers that when you're in the environment, you can react subconsciously in the positive.
So let's take this even deeper. Trying to find a parking place at Christmas time shopping. How do we use this? Or how do we use this when your relatives, the wife says, I'm cooking the turkey, and your mom says, no, I'm cooking the turkey. How do we use this in the day-to-day of that important part of our lives?
Trying to avoid that tire track across the back of my shirt. That's what I'm thinking as we go through the holidays. You're listening to Be a Beast on Nelson Radio. We've been with Roger Anthony, the master of the learning anchor system, and these trigger words that bring us back into a mental performance. I'm with Dave Austin, mental performance expert, myself, a business leader and coach. You can reach us direct, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136, or click through at extremefocus.com. Dave, this is going to be the ongoing message, how we perform at a higher level, how we have these trigger words that are nicknamed on these animals to perform at the ultimate level.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful system. And, Roger, we can't thank you enough, because what you bring to this show and what you bring to people's lives is off the charts. And now being the living example of it in your own life, taking on this gift that you've been given, that you're going to show everyone how to live through it.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Nelson. It's been a pleasure.
Roger Anthony, Be a Beast, Dave Austin, Be a Beast on Nelson Radio. Find out more, 888-888-2136 or extremefocus.com, or simpler yet, as you drive around, all you need to do when you park is text the word BEAST to 313131.
Offer extended. Offer not accepted. This is Nelson with Nelson Radio, and you're challenged by today's rush to real estate, all combined with a concern that by the time you find your dream home, higher rates will price you out of the market. I've got the answer. With my mortgage market exclusive lock and shop rate guarantee, you can freeze today's low interest rates, shop for your new home, all with a peace of mind that your rate is waiting for you at the finish line. Call or click 888-888-2136 or click through on strongcreditrewards.com.